Yes, everyone, we're back here on Forever United TV. Welcome along, all of your Manchester United updates, of which there are plenty, and we're getting straight in on Benjamin Sesko this evening. I know that's all you want to know about. I have got the updates and information on potential midfield targets for Man United, but we can only start with one place, and that is the mass opinion of several journalists, including the big guns, all today on the Benjamin Sesko situation. It has developed from the morning into this lunchtime, and now this evening it is dominating the headlines, it's dominating my shows, but all anybody wants to know about is Benjamin Sesko right now. Once this deal is finalised, I think we could all sort of look at other areas of Manchester United's team, but it looks like all of Manchester United's resources are in on this. Big, massive updates that have come out in the last 10 minutes even. But first of all, we want to get through what we talked about this morning to this lunchtime. So this morning it was reports from the Slovenian side of things saying that Benjamin Sesko is now choosing the Newcastle. The Newcastle source is also saying that he's now favouring a move to Newcastle. Lots of people confidently saying things from Newcastle's side that this bid has gone in and has changed things. And then, just to clarify everything, we've waited it out and we've even got timestamps from the man himself here, Fabrizio Romano, on everything that's actually going on right now with Benjamin Sesko. And here we go, first of all, with a extended update in detail from Fabrizio Romano here. So bear with me on this one. This one is a little bit longer than normal, and then we're going to bring you everything that's happened over the last couple of hours around Benjamin Sesko. But here's what Romano has said from his side on Benjamin Sesko as of this afternoon.
The center of the world in the transfer market is Leipzig. Leipzig in Germany, yes, because Red Bull Leipzig have two situations open. Let's go step by step. I wanted to start with Benjamin Sesko. Because on Benjamin Sesko, I'm receiving tons of questions, millions of questions from all the football fans, Manchester United fans, Newcastle fans, Liverpool fans interested to see what happens also for the Isaac Domino story. Guys, let me clarify one thing. As of now, it's 3:47 p.m. in Italy, where I'm recording this video. Benjamin Sesko has still not made a decision on his future club. So, according to my information and sources into Benjamin Sesko's camp, tell me that the player has still not decided. It's a really important decision for his career, for his life, for his future, and Sesko wants to take his time. It's not going to be a very long time, so we are not talking about a deadline day or so, according to my information. But Sesko wants to make a decision in the next days, as soon as possible, when he has 100% clear the destination he wants to follow. It's obviously different stories, different projects. Let's clarify something, guys. On Benjamin Sesko, not in the squad today, because obviously he's gonna leave, he's expected to leave, but two clear points. On Newcastle, many of you told me today, Newcastle have sent a bid to Red Bull Leipzig. Newcastle are in direct contact with Red Bull Leipzig since last week. Newcastle told Leipzig last week, not today, not yesterday, not 2 days ago. Last week, if you remember my videos and my content, Newcastle told last week to Red Bull Leipzig that they are prepared to pay what they want. Transfer fee, 75 million euros plus add-ons, give the player what he wants, contract, money, salary, commission, everything. So Newcastle are prepared to pay what it takes to sign Benjamin Sesko. It's 7 days that I'm telling you this, probably even more, probably 10, and I maintain my position. Newcastle are ready. If Sesko decides to go to Newcastle, they are ready. But Sesko, despite reports overnight, has still not decided. Manchester United, let me repeat once again, are still there as of today. Man United are still there, and yes, Newcastle have sent a bid, but they are in direct contact with Leipzig since last week, so it's not that the point. The point is the player, because Man United are still there, and I can tell you this afternoon that also Man United are still in direct contact with Red Bull Leipzig. Also, Man United are absolutely into this race. So both clubs are in the race with a different position, because Newcastle financially are ready to give everything they want to make the deal happen. Manchester United are in a different financial position, but still working on a deal. Don't underestimate Manchester United, still there, with the player side, with the player camp, with Red Bull Leipzig, in direct contact with Leipzig, as well as Newcastle. Financially, Newcastle is more ready, for Man United is different, but for sure both clubs are still in the race. And so let's follow the situation. But remember, what makes a difference in this story is what the player wants to do, what the player decides to do. And so this is going to be the crucial point. With Newcastle ready to do whatever it takes to sign Sesko, but Man United still in the conversation.
There we go. A little bit longer than normal on Romano, but I wanted to break down everything there from what he said. We can usually clip up a few little bits, but a lot of people do this and then actually just go on that special bit that they actually want to move the narrative in their way. Like, that's their agenda. They want to show that bit. And this is what a lot of people do with a lot of stuff. So I wanted to actually do something a little bit longer there. An extended clip from Fabrizio Romano just explaining the full breakdown right now. He basically said that bid that Newcastle have put in counts for nothing, that it's the same as what it was nearly 10 days ago when he said that Newcastle have told Leipzig they're prepared to pay what they want. That's, I think we all knew already. It's not going to make any difference in the situation. Like Romano said at the end there, breaking it down, don't count Manchester United out on this one. They haven't made that official bid, but they're talking to the player, the club, and are still very, very confident that they can convince Benjamin Sesko to come to Manchester United. He said that before. So when you look at the situation as it is from last night to this lunchtime, Romano giving his piece today, and it's like he said, 3:47 over in Italy, ahead of us, obviously hour-wise in terms of the time, but still very up-to-date in terms of what he said. From Benjamin Sesko's side of things, it comes down to the player. That's it. So Newcastle can bid all they want. It's not going to change a thing. Everybody knows in this bidding situation and in this negotiation situation between United, Newcastle and Leipzig that it's all coming down to the player. And that is it. That is final on it. So Romano shuts down the news from last night and the people saying that that Benjamin Sesko had made his mind up, he's going to Newcastle. That has all been completely played down. Manchester United, by the way, people were saying this morning about the bookies and the favourites. United have now turned out to be favourites for Benjamin Sesko and going to him now. So there's been a lot of money moved onto Manchester United now all of a sudden. So don't really pay any attention to the bookies. Like, obviously, they're just trying to make the favourites who they want it to be. And that will obviously make them more money in the end. But obviously, when we look at where we are with what Romano said and everything else that's gone on so far today, and you've got to look at it in detail now and say, no matter what anybody says about what Newcastle want and what they want to do, what Manchester United have said and what they want to do, it is still always going to come down to the player. Romano also said there he's been taken out of the Leipzig side today because of this situation, because he has told his teammates he is leaving Leipzig. He's going. It's not going to be too long before he actually makes his mind up. He understands that everything takes time and it's going to be in the coming days. So, like we said, over this weekend, maybe into Monday, we're going to find out. Both Newcastle and Manchester United will be back from their respective tours. Obviously, there's a lot to sort out for Newcastle, as Alexander Isak will be back as well in Newcastle training, and talks can continue there. Will they go ahead with the Isak situation and the Sesko bid if Isak is actually staying? Because Sesko will not be the major player when it comes to Newcastle if Isak stays. That aside, anyway, it's up to the player and what he wants. And even in Janaga Fjortov's words and what he said earlier on, he says, and quite rightly so, the Sesko team are wanting to take a little bit more time to make sure that they make the right decision after the bid's gone in and been made official. All of the news and everything that's been reported from this has come around Benjamin Sesko preferring a move to Manchester United. But of course, there is new information out regarding the bid. And that's what Romano shut down. He said, this is the same scenario. Nothing has changed. Newcastle were always going to put this bid in, and it changes nothing in terms of what Leipzig will do. In fact, Craig Hope has just come out in the last 10 minutes and said that Leipzig will wait likely until Benjamin Sesko has communicated his own wishes before negotiating with either Manchester United or Newcastle. So that's the Daily Mail correspondent for Newcastle saying that when it comes down to what Florian Plettenberg has just come out with in the last 20 minutes or so, he has said Newcastle have submitted an official offer of €75 million plus €5 million in add-ons in bonus payments to Benjamin Sesko. But Manchester United that is, have made it clear to RB Leipzig that they are still in the race and ready to make their move, but will only do so once the player makes his mind up. United will not enter into formal official negotiations until they know the player wants them. They're waiting for seal of approval. I seen a great tweet out earlier on from a guy called Adam. I've quoted him a few times, actually, and I completely agree with him, not just because he's called Adam, but absolutely bang on the money in what he said. Newcastle putting a bid in on a player that hasn't committed to them at all, with another team already in the race to sign him, just shouts out pure desperation for the situation that they're in the transfer window they're having. Manchester United have waited and have been patient with all of their signings so far to make sure that they are 100% fully invested into Manchester United. And they're only going to enter negotiations when they know that is rubber stamped, signed, sealed, delivered, and in. That's it. That's all that matters for Manchester United when it comes to negotiations. And, of course, when you look at the situation as it is, we are literally, 2 days away, maybe even less, maybe a little bit more from that decision coming. And then United have not wasted any time in negotiating hard with Leipzig. I'm sure they'll go in with a bit of their own, which will work well for them. Like we've spoken earlier on today when we brought you the update about Rasmus Højlund and Leipzig approaching Manchester United. Not United pushing Rasmus, Leipzig approaching Manchester United for Rasmus Højlund. That confirmed by Romano also as well, and Sky Sports on that side of things. So we know that that's a definite. It's not like United are trying to force something in here. Like I said before in the midday update, United have something that Leipzig want and Newcastle don't. So Manchester United have a little advantage in this negotiations here. Now, it's come out since then. Alex Crook has come out on TalkSport and said that Rasmus Højlund does not want to leave Manchester United. He's made it clear to United he doesn't want to go to Leipzig. So has that one been scuppered? But then Janaga Fjortov again came out after that and said that Manchester United will sell Rasmus Højlund for 30 million and will give him the option of where he wants to go if he's leaving Manchester United. We've also had information come out about why Manchester United can afford to spend over 70 million on Benjamin Sesko if they want him. It has been made up with savings from job cuts, from the money that we've made from sell-on clauses and the penalty for Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford's wages added to that, and future departures by the end of this financial term for big players on big wages as well. Manchester United fully confident and in position to structure a deal worth 70 million, which is it's an even tiny little bit more than what Newcastle have bid. So United are in a position to match the Newcastle bid, but they're not going to make it official until the player says yes. So that is all of the information pretty much rounded up into the Benjamin Sesko situation as it is now to this time of the day on the Saturday. And I think it is just a case now of waiting it out to see what he wants. There's nothing that anybody else is going to say now until we get anything official from Benjamin Sesko's camp about where he wants to go that's going to matter. Look, we all know that Manchester United and Newcastle, Florian Plettenberg, Fabrizio Romano, everything about this deal is there right now. Like there is reports here from Germany saying that there could now be a bidding war between Manchester United and Newcastle. It won't be because we're waiting on the player. If the player decides to go one way, it pretty much scuppers the other club's situation. They're going to move away from it. They're out of the race. So if Newcastle get Benjamin Sesko over the line, let's say for instance he agrees to go to Newcastle, United are not going to hang around. United are gone because we have got information like we did with Victor Gyökeres. It's the same scenario, exactly the same scenario. If he says he's going to prioritise Newcastle and they have to agree with Leipzig to get the deal done, United are walking. It's over. There's a reason I feel like Manchester United have gone harder on this, though. I don't think United feel like Benjamin Sesko is going to go to Newcastle. I've seen different reporters coming out from Newcastle's side of things. Like we said, the Daily Mail correspondents, the Sky Sports correspondent for the North East, all Newcastle fans, all trying to big up the side of Newcastle, clinging on to any tiny little bit of news possible that might be a positive for them and running with it. He's happy with the project. There has been more talks over the last 24 hours. Newcastle are desperate. Of course they're going to do more talks and try and get into Benjamin Sesko. They're in an absolute nightmare situation right now where they, no matter what happens, like I said earlier on, they're going to be weakened. If Isaac leaves, there's nothing that Newcastle can do that's going to keep them where they are in that forward line. They're weaker than what they was. United won't be. We'll move on to another target and automatically get stronger. United are in a miles more comfortable position when it comes to targets and trying to get this striker deal done for them. Newcastle, Everything that they are doing right now shouts out pure desperation from their side of things. And I'm not having a go at them. I mean, they've got to do what they've got to do. Newcastle are in this fight, whether we like it or not as Man United fans. They're going to try and get Sesko over the line, whichever way. And they feel like they're putting a bid in now and putting pressure on Leipzig to push Benjamin Sesko that way. That is a transfer. That's a transfer tactic that many clubs have done before. Go to the club. You go all the way back to Manchester United, haggling over Dimitar Berbatov, and then City come in and pay what Tottenham want, and Tottenham accept the deal. But the player still wants Manchester United. You have to sort it out. Leipzig are in a miles better position and a very well-run club. And again, it has been made very clear, even with the biggest journalist trying to push the Newcastle agenda on this one, it's been made very, very clear to everybody that it does not matter what Newcastle do, what Newcastle bid, how much they bid, or who they bid before. It's up to Benjamin Sesko. I think they've done it to show Sesko that they mean business and they really want him. Of course they do. But Manchester United really want him too. And it's up to that project and what they're building. Does Benjamin Sesko want to be part of rebuilding Manchester United? Does he want to be part of why other players have turned down Newcastle and also on board with Manchester United, players that want to be at this football club? The changing of the bigger football club, which is United. Of course it is, and everybody knows that. Even Newcastle fans will admit that. United are selling a massive project for the future here to Benjamin Sesko. And Newcastle are trying to do the same with a little bit more on top because they're in the Champions League. I still feel like Manchester United are fully confident that this deal is over the line. I've said this before many a times, and not to repeat myself too much again and go over covered ground all again. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out then. I'll go over it all over again, covering all ground, is that Manchester United have shown this window that when they're in for a player, they are pretty confident that they're going to enter into this race. They are communicating as of today. That's from Plettenberg, that's from Romano, that's from every other journalist jumping on top of this deal today and what's happening, all saying the same things. United are communicating as of today, Saturday the 2nd of August, with Leipzig. They know that Manchester United are ready to bid. And if there's a bidding already, then United are probably prepared to match it. And this is all going to come down to what Benjamin Sesko says. I think United go bang in with a bid, away we go, and I think they are fully prepared. I think the structure of it is what will be negotiated for Manchester United. I do believe United hold the cards with potential players going the other way. Let's see how that side of things develops. But let's get into the comments section and see where you're all at regarding this now and what you think is going to happen from this point. Where is your mood? Where is your confidence? Where do you think this is going to end up after everything that's happened today? There's been a lot of information and we brought you a lot today on everything that's going on. So let's get into everything that's actually gone down and get your thoughts on this. First of all, there is tons of membership renewals that I just need to get through quickly all of a sudden. Absolute awesome. Thank you again, everyone. Mojo has been 9 months a member. Absolute legend, just renewed his membership. He's also dropped in a mega super chat there. We better be in this with all guns blazing, otherwise Villa ain't letting us have Watkins at anywhere near 50 million. We will be forced to pay in excess of 60 million. Would we be bothered about that is probably a question that a lot of United fans would ask. A lot of people would like Watkins. A lot of people don't want Watkins at that price. That's the stumbling block with the Watkins situation. I'm still confident about Sesko, and I think United are prepared to throw the kitchen sink at Benjamin Sesko. I really do. That's the noises that are coming out right now. And just be ready for Manchester United. Hold tight for Man United to go full on in on this as well and blow Newcastle out the water as long as they get that I'm on United from Benjamin Sesko. Newcastle are done. As soon as United get that green light, Newcastle might as well go and buy Johan Bisa because Benjamin Sesko is not coming to Newcastle. That's if he says yes. Of course, it's all going to come to. But United won't waste time. If I said this before, if Benjamin Sesko says I'm going Newcastle, United are done. Walk away. See you later. That's it. Well done. Right, good try. They did everything they could. They've gone up against every powerhouse in the Premier League this summer, and they've done well. They've won a lot of battles. You can't win them all, But I don't think United will be waiting around to try and convince the player after he said that he wants to go Newcastle. It'll be the same as what it was with Victor Gyökeres, like I said. Kenny Fan TV says, with a renewed membership again, legend, thank you, my man. Big up, Adam. Still believe that Sesko will come to Man United because of Vival. Yes, I believe that as well. He's playing a big part in this, and Romano has always said this. I'm going to give you my take on Romano's stance as well in a moment. I said on your previous streams that Man United will surprise everybody. I think you are right, mate. I think you are right. Ginger Bish says, the reporting on Sesko is so bipolar right now. Another one in from Kelowna says, surely it's if he wanted Newcastle, it's already over. Yeah, this is what we're saying. Like the Leipzig group, the Red Bull group, the Red Bull franchise, Leipzig, everybody at that football club knows of Newcastle's interest and has known for a long time. Like Romano said, 10 days ago, we knew this bid was there. It's just been made official just to ramp up the pressure on Benjamin Sesko signing for them. That's all it is. It's a ploy. And that's what Newcastle are trying to get over the line here. They're trying to make it look like they're the power players in this. But United will have something going on behind the scenes, and I'm still confident. Look, if he chooses Newcastle, I'll sit here, I'll have a moment, I'll get over it, and I'll move on. I don't think I'm going to be having that moment. I think he's going to sign for United. And that, I think, Sternlove, is exactly what will happen. And cheers for them super chats and renewals of memberships, everybody. Thank you if you have done there. I really appreciate that, of course, as always. Good luck to him. If he chooses Newcastle, he's made his bed. He'd have to lie in it. I said it. Graham just answered Ginger Bish there in the comment section. If he chooses Newcastle, then he'll have no chance of signing for Manchester United. This is his big move. He has to make sure it's right. Where do young players thrive? Where do young players get the chance? Yes, the football club isn't run right at the moment. Well, it wasn't run right. It's looking better now. But if you look at what is happening right now in Manchester United's setup and the opportunities that young players get, Benjamin Sesko will be Manchester United's #1 striker next season. Guaranteed. That is what Manchester United are offering him. But if he decides that he thinks Newcastle's a better proposition for him, then his chances of playing at Manchester United are over. United will walk away. Let's see what we've got here. Otherwise, in the chat as well, Kazi says, when Newcastle don't make Champions League next season, they do. What do they do? What do they have over United as a club? There's literally nothing. It's a made-up rivalry that Newcastle fans try to create that really isn't realistic. It isn't there. There is no rivalry between Manchester United and Newcastle at all. It's come from Newcastle fans thinking that there is one. There never was one. United have always been a massive football club compared to Newcastle. Everybody knows that. Even Newcastle fans will admit that. The sensible ones anyway. Ahmad says, it's good for Manchester United by Benjamin Sesko. Forget Watkins is too old. A lot of people's opinions on that is the same. So a journalist does a story that we know we've known for a week and everyone goes crazy. Then Fab calms us down. Well, I think the Newcastle fans went a bit mental on the news from last night. And Romano's probably had to come out and say that there is no bid. There wasn't a bid from... there was a bid from Newcastle that's been made official, but that's one that we've known about for a very, very long time. And that's the point that it was being made there by Romano in that clip. In terms of Romano, I actually think that he's ready to say "I told you so" in a way. I think he's always been saying that. And his line in this saga has been, "Don't forget about Manchester United. Don't count Manchester United out." He said it again. He is going to come back on another video when this all breaks down and says, "Guys, I told you. Don't forget about Manchester United. I have been telling you for days in my content and on my show that don't forget about Manchester United." He is building us up to something. Even when Newcastle were favourites a while ago, he said, United are in. United are in. He's always gone along with it. And he will be able to come out on a piece of content and say, "I told you, don't forget about Manchester United." Newcastle, out of all of this, have always looked like the main players, the ones that are pushing it harder than the other. United just look comfortable. And there's a difference in approach here that I think is playing out, which favours Manchester United if you look at it deeper. United are not panicking. United are not making bids until they know for certain. They'll have other targets lined up if Sesko doesn't want to come. But believe me, like every single report has been said, and Duncan Castles also came out before and said, Amorim and Vival are pushing on Sesko. They're making it clear that they want Benjamin Sesko at Manchester United, and that is where the club is at. And they will pump up the money to get Benjamin Sesko. That made clear in the breakdown of Manchester United's finances recently. And every journalist is now running how Manchester United can afford Benjamin Sesko without selling any other players. Them players will go in time. United are not worried about it at all. Benjamin Sesko will bring Manchester United a better opportunity of making Champions League football as well. And the club know this. They know this. So there is a calmness to Manchester United's approach, completely different. It was a great breakdown before from another account which I read that Newcastle are pushing onto Benjamin Sesko through RB Leipzig. So they've approached the club first and then they're going to go to the player, which is clear, and we've seen that. Manchester United have approached the player and then are going to the club. I think that's the more effective way of doing it, and that's what this tweet said earlier on, and I agree with it completely. Manchester United are making sure that the player wants the football club, and then they can confidently know that they can go into negotiations, that that player doesn't want to go anywhere else, therefore giving United the power of negotiations to get the deal that they want. And it's sensible. It is. But Manchester United have always shown a desperation in the transfer market over the past few years. And we've ended up buying players that we're trying to get rid of now. You look at every single signing that we want rid of, it was all bought through sheer desperation. Every single one of them. Like Anthony, a desperate signing because we didn't get him earlier in the window for the right price. Martinez, we paid too much for. Ericsson, we brought in because he was a free transfer and it was easy for United. Why did we bring Malacia in? It was a waste of time. And you're looking at, obviously, Rasmus Højlund. We were desperate to bring a striker in and we didn't want to go for the big name. We didn't want to go for a Harry Kane or someone bigger. We went for Rasmus Højlund because we knew we'd get him, because no one else was stupid enough to spend the money that United were going to spend on him. And Atalanta seen United coming. Mason Mount, first offer in that Chelsea were asking. They gave Chelsea their asking price straight away for Mason Mount. It was absolutely ludicrous. This is where United have been. Why did we spend 47 million on Andre Onana when we already had David De Gea there? We could have spent that 47 million to get a better striker in the same summer that we wasted money on Rasmus Højlund. United are not doing that again. And that's the mistakes that Ruben has made sure. We will only buy players that want to be at Manchester United. If United knew or had any indication that Benjamin Sesko was really unsure about going to Manchester United and was favouring Newcastle, I don't even think we'd be in this position right now. I don't. I think what everybody's waiting for is the official, I want Manchester United, and that's it. And then they can report away. And then all of the side stories that we've been talking about now, that everyone's holding back, can start to come out. But I think there is a respect barrier up here, and they want to respect Benjamin Sesko's wishes and give him his time. This is a massive move for him. He's about to make the biggest move of his career. He's about to be headline news and be scrutinised to high heaven because of the clubs that he's about to go to and the hardest league in the world. This is huge for him, so I get it. Let's give him the respect and time and space that he needs. I think the decision's already been made. I'm just saying that from what I've read so far. I don't see an area where Manchester United, I don't see a world where Man United don't get Benjamin Sesko. I'll be shocked if he goes to Newcastle. I really will. I'll deal with that in my own way if it does happen. But looking at it from what we've got there information-wise, I just can't see how United don't get this done. The bidding war one, that's a strange one. That news that came out, and that's come from Philipp Heinz, German correspondent over there for Sky Germany. A bidding war may be about to start. Further talks are planned for the evening. Why? Why are the plans talked? Why are there plans for talks this evening when it's all waiting on the player making a decision? Like Newcastle have made a bid. It's not been rejected. It's not been accepted. Why? Because well-known reporters and journalists have come out and told us that it's because they're waiting for Benjamin Sesko to make his mind up. So there's one report we can just shut down completely. What talks are going to happen tonight? United have let Leipzig know what they want to do. They know that they're going to bid for Sesko, but none of them bids get anywhere near the table until Sesko says he's joining United. So there's one down. There we go. That's that. Let me just bring up. Ruben Amorim's been doing an interview that I'm going to get a few quotes off as well recently, everyone, which looks very, very intriguing. We'll read through all of them very soon. Let's just get this now. I think players are working really well and they understood that they need to give 100%. If they don't give that, it's going to be hard for them here. So that is also important. Interesting message there. Good message from Ruben Amorim regarding what's actually happening. Obviously, you've seen the news about Bryan Mbeumo ready to make his debut tomorrow against Everton for Manchester United. Can't wait for that. By the way, we are going to be doing tomorrow's content, by the way, is going to be off the scale busy. My God, there's going to be a lot because we are going to do the watch along again, everybody. I hope you all set and ready to go for that. So let me know. I'll do the confirmation again tomorrow. Put the poll up if you want to do the watch along. We're going to get it done. Because Lloyd Whitwell has come out and said Amorim confirms and Mbeumo will face Everton in Atalanta. We'll get into all of that in a minute. Because Ruben has just done that interview and United have just released it. Talks between RB Leipzig and all interested parties for Benjamin Sesko to take place in the next hours. That's come out as well just now. So the next hours. So have we got a decision from Benjamin Sesko? I've seen a few reports and these have just happened while we've been live. And so that's it. It's a fact that Benjamin Sesko has expressed his desire to join Manchester United before these latest developments from the Newcastle bid. His team wants more time before making a final decision. That was that one that I said from Jan Agafjortov earlier on as well. This was what Florian Plettenberg said as well. He said that Manchester United have made it clear to RB Leipzig that they are still in the race for Benjamin Sesko. United have moved into favourite position with the bookies. This was the full report from that Philipp Heinz, who is a German football German football reporter over there in the Bundesliga for Sky Germany. Leipzig have received a written offer from Newcastle, 75 plus €5. The offer has so far neither been accepted nor rejected. Manchester United still fully in the race as well. They have made it clear that they are ready to enter the bidding war may be about to start. Further talks are planned for this evening. Again, I don't believe that there are any more talks planned. Like that, I think that latest report that I read out just a minute ago about talks happening tonight and making me think that there's obviously a decision been made. I think that's come off this report and someone's just snipped it out of this one from Philipp Heinz. So, yeah, I don't think what talks can go on if Sesko's not made his mind up. Like, we can obviously look at the structure and behind the scenes, I feel like there can be an agreement made when Sesko makes his mind up. Maybe this is the case now. Maybe we're in a position where Leipzig are communicating and talking without anything being official with United and Newcastle about what they want. And as soon as Benjamin Sesko says yes, bang, bang, one of the bids in, medical, away we go. And the deal will be done this week. That may be the case. I mean, that's how you could possibly read that story there. If talks are going on tonight, then maybe it is between the clubs behind the scenes as to the deal and what's necessary. And of course, it can be verbally accepted. And then they can put it all in official writing once the player has said yay or nay. That could be the way that this goes. We don't know is the honest answer to that one. Until the talks come out and what's actually happened, then we're going to have to just wait it out a little bit. That's all. Cheers for all the likes, everybody. Keep giving the thumbs up. By the way, we are literally, 137 likes away from the next 1,000. 94k is on the way, everybody. Thank you if you have subscribed already. Please do keep doing that. It's completely free and helps the channel massively. Thank you, everybody. Janice S says, an FUTV watch-along will be fantastic with all you lovely people. Yes, we are the best. You know it, Janice. Thanks for that one. I'd take Watkins in a heartbeat for the right price. For the right price. Good job you added that on the end there, because that's the problem we've got with this one. Value is more important than price. Look, what is a bargain? What is a good deal? Like, what is value for money? Who decides what value for money is in a player and how much a good deal is in terms of the transfer fee itself? It's only determined by 3 years into that contract whether that player has contributed enough and does look like value for money. That's all it is. Benjamin Sesko could turn out to be a complete flop in the Premier League. Benjamin Sesko could turn out to be an absolute will beater in the next coming of a Ruud van Nistelrooy or a Robin van Persie. You just don't know. And that's the unknown bit. But I feel like everybody now, and Leipzig have got themselves in a very comfortable position here now. I think everybody knows that Newcastle are up against United. Both clubs want him, and they'll get a good price. There's a guarantee for Leipzig here that they're going to get the right price for Benjamin Sesko now. It wouldn't have happened if they'd have negotiated with Arsenal, but Arsenal went for ENQUIRIES. I just pray that Sesko turns out to be the better buy if he does sign for Manchester United anyway. I'm driving the confidence factor still everyone that United are going to get him. Anyway, moving on to the midfield side of things. Romano hinted late last night about Manchester United going for a midfielder. I'm sure you've seen a report. If you haven't, I will bring them to you. But reports from Spain have said that Manchester United are about to make a massive bid for Fermin Lopez, the central midfielder at Barcelona. 22-year-old, big contract still. But the report is saying that Manchester United are actually going to bid in and around 70 million euros for him. And they're going to double his wages. Just so you know, doubling his wages is going to be approximately 140 grand a week. He's 22 and isn't going to get as much game time as what he would want. Now, he featured 46 times for Barcelona last season, but only 19 of them were starts. Good numbers, 8 goals and 10 assists, so 18 goal involvements off 19 starts. Isn't half bad. For a young lad. Don't get me wrong, you throw anyone into that Barcelona side, their stats are probably going to be through the roof. I'm not getting carried away with it. But we know that United, from what Romano said, are looking for a midfielder. Now, Manchester United, apparently Ruben Amorim has been dying to get his hands on Martin Hjulmand, the former captain at Sporting Lisbon. His name has come up again today from Duncan Castle. So there's 2 midfielders that Manchester United are actually looking at, according to these reports. Now, I am not actually convinced by any of them. I'm going to say that right now. In terms of the reports, player-wise, good players. Lopez, I just never would have seen Man United going for him at all. Sensible signing, you never know. He's another young player who has actually got the capabilities of playing the 6 and the 8. He can play left, he can play right, but the majority of his games last season were all through the middle. And obviously, we don't even need to discuss his qualities. We know what he's all about. I just don't see United doing business with Barcelona. Like, maybe there is something in there because Man United did a deal for Marcus Rashford that suited Barca. That maybe there's some grace in there and we can make a massive bid to help them actually recover some of the finances that they desperately need to balance their books, because we know that there is a serious situation there at Barcelona when it comes to the financial side of things. But Martin Hjulmand, Sporting are after ridiculous money yet again, and it's just not going to happen. It is not going to happen, and that, I think, is why we're never going to buy him. Ruben apparently has been pushing for this. We'll never know if this is true or not, but still. Again, it does show you that Manchester United are looking for a midfielder. Is there anyone that would take Lopez, by the way? I'm just going to throw it out there to the chat. Is there anybody out there that thinks that is the type of signing United should be looking at? Can you actually see United going for him? I can't, personally. I'm not going to say no to a good player, but again, it's an unknown midfielder, very young, who is used to playing in a certain style of football that isn't what Manchester United are producing. He isn't worth that money. That's what I'm saying on this one. Good player, but not that type of bid. And it is driven from Spanish reports as well. Just bringing you all of the news as it comes. I'm not saying this is a definite or we should do it. That, I think, is just something that shows us United are really looking deep into the transfer market for a new midfielder. I think that there is probably a positive sign that we are looking outside of the box as well in what we actually need. So let's see. Obviously, you've still got the situation with Javi Guerra as well. at Valencia. That's not disappeared yet. The physicality factor and what Romano was talking about as well, is that there in these players? That's questionable. Very, very questionable. Adam, I can't take any link from Barcelona seriously. I know, Graham, neither can I. But again, we did help them out with Marcus Rashford. That's all I'll say. That's the first deal I can remember since the David Beckham South deal that United have done with Barcelona, apart from PK going back to Barcelona. So I think United have given Barcelona the better deals. Let's just say that. I don't know. Honestly, I'm with Graham on that one. I've said this all along. Barcelona and United don't go well together. Ever. When it comes to us getting anything from them in particular. I think it's all come from that fallout from David Beckham years ago. Okay, going to get into some of these quotes from Ruben Amorim as well and get into the chat on all of the topics as well, everybody, please. Quickly, just before we get into this one, I think we have got another super chat in there. I'm going to come to all of the comment section again, so stay tuned, everyone, for that. Jim, who's just renewed his membership, 20 months a member. Ouchie. Thank you, Jimbo. Hope Sesko is United player by the end of the window. Romano actually did say this isn't going to drag on to the end of the window. So, again, with all of them talks going on behind the scenes or what's happening tonight or whatever the German reporters are saying right now, could this be just setting this up for Manchester United or Newcastle moving in very quickly? That could be what we're looking at here with this one. Craig just renewed his membership. He's top trumped you there, Jimbo. He's on 21 months. What front line we got when we get Sesko? You can say that again, mate. You really can, buddy. Thanks again for the renewal, my man. Anthony says United should go for what? Who? From Leverkusen. I can't even pronounce that name. I'm not too sure who that is, I'm going to be honest, Anthony. No idea, in fact. No, I may just not be pronouncing the name right. I'm not going to look now. I'm trying to act like I know who he is. But, no. I don't think there is anyone else, actually, in the reckoning for Manchester United, apart from the obvious when it comes to strikers, if we don't get Benjamin Sesko anyway. All right, let's get on. Okay, Ruben's quotes regarding what's happening at Manchester United. Big interview with the with MUTV for Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim on the character of Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. It's a key point in our way to do things now. It's not just how they play. It's really important, of course, but the character is really important. Again, I think this is him alluding to what United are doing in the transfer market. Specifically talking about two signings United have made and spent a lot of time getting over the line in Cunha and Mbeumo. I'm talking about the character, not just a good player, which they both are, but their characters. And this is why United are in on Benjamin Sesko. 100% the reason why United are pushing on this. And Vival, like we've said, always was going to play a big part in this because he knows what this player is all about. And that, I think, is the main win in this transfer window. The strategy and the change in tactics from Manchester United. Amorim also, before the players ate and left right away, now they stay longer and wait for each other more than usual. You can feel it. You can feel it in noise. It's getting better. He's talking about the atmosphere. Before the players ate and left straight away, now they're down there eating and waiting around for each other. There feels, and what he's describing here from what I can take from this is, there is a better environment. These are becoming stronger teammates, stronger connections, actually, and that will obviously come out onto the pitch because we have looked like a team of individuals, haven't we? I think that's something that many Man United fans have brought up several times now. We just look like a bunch of players that are playing for themselves. I think what Ruben's alluding to here is the fact that these players on and off the pitch are for each other, like they are a team. And I think that's what he's alluding to there. He also goes on to say, Amorim on what's on his mind when he returned for pre-season. So basically, the question was like, what was his thoughts? What was he thinking? How was he going into the pre-season? I was confident because I already knew what to do, and we had a clear idea of the group we wanted, and the feeling that the pressure is on, and we have to deliver this year. dead right about that. He also says, I think we are better in every detail in the organisation of the day by day, of the day to day. The nutrition is better. That's an interesting one. No raw chicken then. The nutrition is better, the way we cook, the way what we eat, how we prepare training. I think that we are more organised. I think we have people now that help us to be better. I'm not concerned. Bang. Confidence running through the team right now. And I said this before. This all falls into line with what we're doing right now and what we're talking about with Benjamin Sesko. It just creates an environment that people want to be part of. And when you're selling a project, when you're selling something that is changing at a football club after a horrible period, and I've said this, on paper, Newcastle looks like a better option for Benjamin Sesko right now. You can't argue with that. Their performances have been better. The football has been 20 times better than Man United, and it does feel like a good vibe there. But what United are building here, I think they are creating something new. They are creating the next chapter in Manchester United's history. That's how they're selling it. I guarantee it. That's what it'll be. What else can you offer? There's no Champions League football. There's no chance of winning the league. There's no chance of trophies apart from the league and FA Cup. But what you are offering here is a piece of history. And I think, and it sounds corny, I know, but that's what Manchester United have got on the table right now. It's the only thing we've got to offer someone like Benjamin Sesko. Yeah, the wages will be good. But what Ruben is doing is bringing back an environment that invites quality players, invites people in and makes them want to be part of it. And that's what he's saying there, I think, in that interview. This is where it's different for Manchester United this summer. United will, obviously, need to be better on the pitch, and that will be the ultimate. But I think Ruben's trying to get across the message here that the results will be better automatically because the players are feeling better, the players are more together, and the atmosphere and environment around the club is built for success, whereas before it was just always going to fail. And that is what's happened. We heard of the stories, the leaks, the issues, the problem players, everything that was going on, and you look at that team right now, you cannot find an issue anywhere. That's it. Every single player that's in that squad now, that's on that tour, when have we really had a bit of an issue or a big problem off the pitch with any of these players at all? I cannot think of any. Like, I'm scratching around trying to think of a real problem that we've had, either a social media issue or nights out or issues off the pitch. You could maybe say Harry Maguire in Greece, but anyone's going to protect the family. Good old Harry. I won't like a nut off that slab head, I'll be honest, but that's it. I think this is what we're looking at now. This is a new age for Manchester United. And here goes Adam again. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Adam, here you go again with your red-tinted glasses on, getting all excited about the new season. Wait until we watch Adam after his first game against Arsenal on that first match vlog of the season and how downbeat he is and how it's all going back to where it was. I'm very aware of that. I don't care what happens in pre-season. I like to talk about it when I see improvement, and I see improvement. And I can be as excited as I can be within pre-season. Friday, 15th of August, the Premier League season kicks off again. And all that goes out the window. And then it's focus time. And I'm ready to criticise. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to be real. I'm ready to be honest with what we're watching with this team. And they need to deliver. So all of this is great. And it's all fantastic talking about the positives right now. And Benjamin Sesko coming into Manchester United, by the way, is a huge positive. Because, again, it shows that what we've built and what we've created off the back of our worst ever Premier League season is working in enticing these players in. To get free players that were wanted by so many football clubs to come to United in the same summer, the quality that they are and what they bring, with what we have just done last season, is nothing short of bleeding miraculous. And credit to Manchester United if they manage to get Sesko over the line as well now. That will be amazing. Benjamin Sesko doesn't have European football with RB like United. They didn't qualify. No, that's been made very, very clear. Again, Fjortov and Samuel Luckhurst were having a bit of a tit-for-tat on Twitter before. Samuel Luckhurst comparing Sesko to Liam Delap again, and Fjortov rightly coming back saying, I'm sorry, Sesko has been in the big league for 2 years. He's got goals in the Champions League. He's got multiple goals at international level, I think 20 plus for his country. It's a different level altogether, and I think Fjortov was right in hitting Luckhurst up on that one. But again, he is an unproven player, and United do have to remember that. And I think the fan base will, obviously, well wanting instant results, will still have to be patient with Benjamin Sesko. I think I've said before, though, I think that the signings of Cunha and Mbumo take the pressure off Benjamin Sesko, because we're not relying on him solely for the goals at the football club. You're spreading them around. You've got Bruno Ahmad who'll score goals, and Mbumo, Cunha who'll score goals, and Sesko can also provide in other ways. He's got an assist in him. He's great in the air. He holds the ball up. He links play better than what Rasmus Højlund will. Rasmus can get better in time, but right now United need something that's a guarantee more in a certain player on a certain quality. And Sesko does hold the ball up better than what Rasmus Højlund does. So linking the play and carrying the ball, I think Sesko's better. And I think he's a better finisher than Rasmus Højlund. I think that is in the stats and has been proven as well. We've got a couple of new members in the house. First of all, Jenny Jones, welcome to the Members Club. And Edwan, welcome also. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Please do make them welcome in the chat, everybody. Into the FUTV army you go. Alex says with a super chat, I see us messing this Sesko deal up, mate. United take too long unless they take Rasmus plus cash. I can't see it. We're not taking long, are we? This has not lasted long. We've shown our cards to Leipzig and the player. It's up to the player now. Look, he's the one that's holding this up, not United. So we're not taking too long on this, Alex. Again, anybody who thinks that United have been taking long on transfers this summer transfer window, I'll always disagree with that stance, because United have moved quickly. They really have. And I think they've done amazing this summer with what they've done. Get a few players out, get Sesko in, and we're talking about the best transfer window in the last decade for Manchester United right here, right now. In fact, if we get Sesko, we get that midfielder that Romano's talking about, and then we obviously move the players on that are necessary, I would say that this is probably the best transfer window we've had, with all the circumstances thrown in, that this club's had in the last 2 decades. And we're going back Fergie era here now as well. The importance of this window and the signings United are making cannot be taken for granted at all. United have had to graft out this summer with limited resources, scraping the barrel on certain deals, doing what they can. But one thing we can't argue is everything that the club has made and saved looks like it's going back into this transfer window. Because I did not see United spending £200 million on a completely new forward line this summer, with the potential to still bring in another midfielder. It's not bad. It's not bad. Could have been a lot worse. Could have been, without jumping the gun here and dropping myself in it, could have been like Newcastle's transfer window. Watch them go and sign Sesko now and make me look like an idiot. Anyway, that wraps up our show, everyone. Thank you so much. We have had a poll running, by the way, throughout. Are you joining us for the FUTV Watch Along tomorrow night? 55% of you have said yes. Get voting on that poll, everybody. We'll do it again tomorrow. If you want to watch the game with us, it's a 10 o'clock kickoff, so it's not stupid o'clock this time. Everyone should still be up. Please do get involved and be on the show as well. We'll have a right old laugh on that one. Over 600 likes again on the show. Epic, fantastic contribution from you all throughout the day's content. Again, the update on Rasmus Højlund's situation is on the video from midday. I haven't gone into it too much on this live show because it's on the other video. So if you've watched this one, you've been live with us, go check out the other video from earlier on. That gives you all the information on Leipzig's approach to Rasmus Højlund and asking about the loan for Rasmus Højlund. I've got a feeling there's going to be more developments on this tonight. And tomorrow morning's show, or Sunday morning show, is going to be one of them blockbuster ones. I've just got a feeling. Anyway, I will keep you fully updated on everything as it goes. By the way, everyone, just checking out the latest Manchester United YouTube fan channel views for July 2025. They've just been released. There is a website and they've got a Twitter account as well. Out of all the channels, Manchester United fan channels, right now, we are 4th on the list. 4th in the table. I've just been sent that to me right now in terms of amount viewed. And you can imagine some of the names of the massive channels that are out there. We're 4th. Check that out. That is mint. Thank you, everybody, for all of your support. As always, I absolutely love you all. I will see you all in the morning. If there is nothing that breaks tonight, that is, because if there is anything that does come out tonight, then I'm all over it, and we'll be live again, everyone. It's non-stop. It isn't. We're into the last month now, 2/3 of the way through the transfer window. We have 30 days left to go. Can United get even more business done yet? Sesko and more on the way, maybe. Belaber and Mateta for me, my preference, with a super chat, says Ant. I'll be listening through my headphones. I'm stuck in work, says Craig. That's all right, my man. I'll let you off. I'm only joking. Give the video a like on the way out, everybody. We are moving towards 94,000 subscribers as well. Please be part of the journey here on Forever United TV. Hit that subscribe button. I will see you all in the morning or maybe later on. Have a fantastic evening, whatever you're up to. A busy old day tomorrow with match day. More on that on the morning show. For now, that's it. Cheers, everybody.